everybody. Welcome to the Top 10 Luxury Lifestyle channel. Today, we're going to go over the MacKenzie Scott Billionaire Lifestyle. MacKenzie Scott is a billionaire and the ex-wife of Amazon founder and world's richest person, Jeff Bezos. She is an acclaimed American philanthropist and a noteworthy novelist. As of April 2021, her real-time net worth was $61.2 billion, making her the third richest woman on the planet and the 21st wealthiest person globally. Throughout her lifetime, Scott has donned many hats, from co-entrepreneur to being the executive director of Bystander Revolution, which she founded in 2014. Miss Scott was listed in the 100 most influential people of 2020 by Time magazine, and we cannot feel too surprised. MacKenzie is quite literally an influential figure. She perfectly fits the proverbial saying of getting rich overnight, because it literally happened that way. The 50-year-old billionaire also became one of the most influential and inspiring philanthropists in the world, that too overnight. She has raised the bar for all those filthy rich billionaires when it comes to donating money. MacKenzie Scott and Jeff Bezos were married for 25 years and raised 4 children together. The two met in 1992 while they were working for the hedge fund D.E. Shaw. After dating for a year, they got hitched in 1993. In 1994, the couple moved to Seattle and started working towards a little-known business called Amazon. Scott belongs to an affluent household. She grew up wealthy in San Francisco, California. Her family owned a house in Tony Marin County, California, and another sprawling mansion in Pacific Heights, San Francisco. Scott's father, Jason Baker Tuttle, owned an investment firm in San Francisco. Her mother, Holiday, was an active philanthropist. Her mother was featured in the year 1970 report by the prestigious Fine Arts Museum of San Francisco when she chaired a fundraising group and organized a 9-course dinner to raise funds for the museum. Scott attended the elite Connecticut boarding school called Hotchkiss. The school is made for the affluent class, as it features an on-campus lake and a 9-hole golf course. The former Mrs. Bezos graduated from the prestigious U.S. Ivy League Princeton University in 1992. She earned a bachelor's degree in English. She was too interested in creative writing and famously studied under the Pulitzer Prize-winning author Toni Morrison. Morrison said on record that MacKenzie Scott was one of her best students ever. So far, Miss Scott has published 2 novels. One of them is The Testing of Luther Albright, published in 2005, and the other one is Traps, published in 2013. She won an American Book Award for her first novel back in 2006. When she joined the New York-based hedge fund D.E. Shaw, she worked under Jeff Bezos as a research associate. In 1994, Scott and Bezos left D.E. Shaw and founded Amazon. Back then, it was merely an online bookstore. The couple started their business from the garage at their home. Scott was Amazon's first employee and transformed it into a trillion-dollar enterprise over 25 years. Interestingly, Scott remained a crucial part of every step Jeff took towards making Amazon what it is today, an enviable business empire. Even the couple wrote the company's business plan together, with MacKenzie occupying the driving seat and Jeff sitting on the passenger side. They spitballed ideas for their future trillion-dollar franchise. It took them just 5 years to make Amazon a profitable business venture, as Jeff's paper net worth rose to $1 billion, while when they had married, his net worth wasn't even in the millions. Just 1 year later, when the dot-com bubble was at its peak, Jeff's net worth hit $10 billion. By July 2015, Bezos' 16% stake in Amazon was valued at around $50 billion. And by 2018, this stake was worth $150 billion. Today, Jeff Bezos is the world's richest man alive, with a net worth crossing $200 billion in January 2021. We can imagine that Mr. and Mrs. Bezos must have amassed an impressive collection of assets over those 25 years together. So, when the couple decided to part ways and dissolved their marriage, everything had to be divided in half. That's how MacKenzie Scott became an overnight billionaire. Their divorce was finalized in mid-2019, and as a part of the settlement, Jeff transferred 25% of his Amazon stake to his now ex-wife. This was around 4% of the company, amounting to approximately $38 billion. Believe it or not, Jeff Bezos and MacKenzie Scott's divorce settlement is ranked amongst the all-time expensive divorce deals. After their divorce was finalized in late 2019, Scott's name emerged on the richest people list. The assets divided between the couple included a $24.5 million mansion acquired in 2007 and a $12.9 million mansion acquired in 2018, both of which are located in Beverly Hills. The list of assets also includes a $23 million mansion in Washington, D.C., which the couple acquired in 2018, and a former museum measuring 27,000 square feet of covered area and comprising 2 buildings. 300,000 acres of land in Texas comprising several ranches, 100,000 more acres of land in different parts of the country. The list of their shared assets is still incomplete. They also own a 5-acre property worth $10 million in Medina, Washington, D.C., which they acquired as a couple in 1999. And there's more. They owned a $50 million mansion located next door to their earlier purchase in the Medina. They bought this house in 2005. Mr. and Mrs. Bezos also owned a $75 million Gulfstream G650 private jet with a range of 7,500 nautical miles and seating capacity for over 19 passengers. One of the many business investments that the couple had made throughout their marriage was investing $250 million to acquire the Washington Post in 2013, and subsequent private investments in Airbnb, Google, Twitter, Nextdoor, Business Insider, and Uber. Apart from the distribution of these assets, the couple had to divide annual security costs. However, Bezos has retained voting control over MacKenzie Scott shares and retained his interest in the Washington Post and his aerospace company Blue Origin that he founded in 2000. So that's how Miss Scott became the 3rd wealthiest female in the world. And she has moved on in life as well, as she recently got married to Dan Jewett. He's a science teacher at the same school in Seattle where MacKenzie's children studied. Despite being so wealthy, Scott never spends lavishly on expensive yachts, houses, or designer clothing. She's a humble and down-to-earth billionaire who has devoted much of her time to philanthropic efforts. Most of her donations are made to women-led charities, historically Black colleges, food banks, and other lesser-known institutions. After her divorce in 2019, Miss Scott has given away a staggering $4 billion of her fortune, according to her self-written blog post that she wrote for Medium in December 2020. In that post, MacKenzie made 2 startling revelations. She announced dropping her last name, Bezos. Scott also revealed that she had donated around $1.7 billion to different causes, including public health, climate change, and racial equality. There's no question in my mind that anyone's wealth is the product of a collective effort and of social structures which present opportunities to some people and obstacles to countless others, she wrote in her post. MacKenzie also shared how much she has given to different causes to date. This includes $586,700,000 to racial inequality, $46 million for LGBTQ community, $133 million for gender equality, $399,500,000 to promote economic mobility, $55 million for empathy and bridging divides, $128,300,000 for public health, and $72 million for functional democracy. That's not all. Part of her donations is $130 million for global development and $125 million for climate change. These are some of the biggest donations ever given by a single person. According to the New York Times, the most surprising part is that Scott made these donations secretly and even didn't inform the organization about her donations. The New York Times report revealed that the donations came as a gift from a secret Santa. Most of these funds were sent to higher education institutes, but not the elite universities that usually get all the attention, but to colleges and universities that most of us have never heard of. These institutions tend to serve minority, regional, and lower income students. This shows Mackenzie Scott is a sensitive individual and extremely generous as well. In sharp contrast to her ex husband Jeff Bezos, who has spent lavishly on expanding his real estate portfolio over the years, Scott has been on a donating spree lately. She and her husband Dan Jewett have also signed the Giving Pledge, while Jeff is still missing from this noble cause. In total, Scott gave away $6 billion in 2020, while she intends to give away most of her wealth through the Giving Pledge, led by Bill and Melinda Gates. This initiative is described as the modern-day Andrew Carnegie and John D. Rockefeller. It is launched to encourage tech billionaires to give away their wealth to the rightful deservers. This pledge was started by Bill Gates, his wife Melinda, and Warren Buffett back in 2020. And so far, many mainstream young and old billionaires have joined the cause. Scott's husband Dan has joined this cause and wrote in his Giving Pledge letter that he is jubilant to have married one of the most generous and kind people in the world. In her Medium post, Scott shared the names of organizations or institutions she has donated to so far. These include the Center for Disaster Philanthropy, the Navajo and Hopi Families COVID-19 Relief Fund, the Chicago Community Loan Fund, Feeding America, Mississippi's Tougaloo College, and Dillard University. Her philanthropic efforts are noteworthy because around a third of them support racial equality, and others support collaboration, advanced democracy, and movement building. Mackenzie Scott is relatively a newcomer on the billionaire scene, but has quickly registered herself as the ultimate role model for others to follow. With her bold moves on the donating front, she has put to shame her ex and the rest of the 650 billionaires in the U.S. who are still figuring out comparable ways to share their wealth as boldly as her. Another thing that sets Scott apart from the rest of American billionaires is that she didn't ask to build a cancer center or college or have a museum wing named after her. She just gave away 116 grants without any strings attached. What do you think about Mackenzie Scott and her philanthropic efforts? If you liked this video, please hit like and share it with your friends. To learn more exclusive facts about your favorite personalities and luxury items, please subscribe to this channel. Until next time.